Welcome, one and all, to another edition of the Defo Show with Lubie here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network, brought to you by Water Cleanup of Florida. The weather is hot. The weather is steamy. You never know what you're going to get when it comes to your home, but thanks to Water Cleanup of Florida, you do not have to worry about it. Just between their 60 years of combined, over 60 years of combined experience between Michael, Robert, and their entire team. Again, you can reach them 24/7. They have licensed contractors. They will make your life nice and easy when you find something that feels like it's going to make your life very difficult. Whether it's water, mold, fire, damage to your home, just give them a call, 954-579-0356, 954-579-0356, or visit the website, WCUFL.com, WCUFL.com. Just mention 5 Reasons or Lubie. 5 Reasons or Lubie, and get a free inspection during business hours. Don't let any home issue, when it's water, flood, fire, mold, freak you out, stress you out. Just give Water Cleanup of Florida a call, 954-579-0356, and they will take care of it in one fell swoop. Check them out on their socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Water Cleanup FL. Water Cleanup of Florida. We clean up your schmutz. Talking about a guy that has taken the world by storm when it comes to writing, was a writer down here in South Florida for a long time with the Sun Sentinel, went on to Yahoo, would always be ahead of the curve when it came to websites, and now is an over 7-time author for books, Elway, A Relentless Life, a great book that was out within the last couple of years. Now he's writing films. NFL Insider Extraordinaire, the one and only Jason Cole, joined us today, talked about the Miami Dolphins rumors, talked about the Deshaun Watson saga with the Cleveland Browns, and all things NFL. With us today, the Defo Show with Lubie on the 5 Reasons Sports Network with Jason Cole.
The great Jason Cole, who now, has exceeded any of the superlatives that we usually lay out there for him. I'm pretty sure by now he's probably into full-fledged movie producing, but screenwriter, author, has some amazing literary works out there in the sporting world, including the book on Elway that really defined his whole persona as a football player, and has written for many different outlets, and done a great job covering the NFL for many, many years. We welcome Jason Cole to the program. Jason, how are you, my friend?
I'm fantastic. How you doing, Defo?
Doing all right. Where are you at these days? Are you still in Gainesville? Are you moving around? What's going on?
I'm in California right now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, Jesus.
Pushing the film. Did you sign a deal? What happened? Is Matt Damon involved? Affleck? Anybody?
No, we haven't quite gotten that far, but we have an announcement coming up pretty soon about not for the about a deal that we got for a movie on a former Pittsburgh Steelers scout, a guy named Bill Nunn. So that'll come out pretty soon. So we got some things moving. So things are going good.
Where did you go to celebrate? Spago? Were you hanging with the Kardashians?
I'm in Northern California. I'm in Northern. It's not quite so glamorous as you want to believe, but I'll go with that dream and say yes. We're at Saga. Wolfgang came tableside,
there you go,
and he made the chopped salad for us.
Yeah. It's weird. You see Spielberg whispering to whoever he's with, "That's Jason Cole over there." Wow, can't believe he's here at a better table than we did.
That happened. Yes, that happened too, Defo. Yes, it really did.
we get aced out by Jim Gray to get a shrimp cocktail at St. Elmo's in Indianapolis, and you're sitting down at a table and they're telling Stallone he has to wait. That's absolutely fantastic. All right, Jason, I'm glad it's going well for you. Well deserved, brilliant career, and always doing a great job on the National Football League. Well, we had this pop up last week, and we got a reasonable explanation from Iron Eagle, but I guess reasonable would be the word that we want to work on here, because I had been informed by the great Jim Sarney, whom you know, a longtime writer at the Sun Sentinel and a big fan of the show, big fan of yours, obviously, as you guys worked together, at least on the staff there. That was brilliant at the time. One of the best sports sections in the country in its day, the Sun Sentinel. Unfortunately, Jason, it's, dissipated down to, like a page or two and not a whole lot of coverage of a variety of things. But Sarney told me that the Jets somehow had gone from 200 to 1 to win the Super Bowl to 100 to 1, the largest line move of preseason football betting, and an enormous amount of money supposedly was going in various sources on the Jets. Now we asked Ian Eagle about that, and he said yes. And you'll also notice that there's an increase in the number of crazy people and people driven by self-sabotage that are getting involved in sports wagering. Is there really any justification for a line move on the Jets?
Well, there was evidently an opening of several meth dealers in the Jersey area.
I mean, they can't win the Super Bowl, can they? Would you put any money on that? Every dime you put up, you would think is going up in smoke.
Well, I mean, look, when you have 200 to 1,
yeah,
and here's the other thing, Defo, and you know this better than I do. When odds move at this time of the year,
yeah,
it's not because some big whale came in and bet $1 million. It's because a few $1,000s were wagered, right? I mean, like, people aren't betting a lot of preseason lines, okay? And it just happened to be, I'm going to guess that some meth-addled Jets fan came in and put down $10,000 at 200 to 1 on a whim because he happens to have 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, and all of a sudden it was like, oh well, we got to adjust this line because that's the only really big betting that's happened, right? And so they want to make sure that they don't get caught, doing something really, really stupid. That's all it is. That's all it is. But a line moving from 200 to 1 to 100 to 1. I mean, there's 100, like 100 to 1, like that doesn't make them exactly favorites.
No,
right?
No. I mean, it's still a ridiculous wager.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's still a dumb thing to bet on. Okay. And so take that at face value as betting on the Jets to win the Super Bowl is a dumb idea. It's a very dumb idea.
I would think your intellect would come under question if you actually believed. I mean, it's one thing to just take a flyer with $20 and say, hey, at 200 to 1, I'm getting back 400 if they do it, but or even a couple of $100, get back a few thousand.
10 G's. Somebody came in with 10 G's, and who can afford bet 10 G's, and they bet 10 G's, on the Jets, and maybe it's, it happens. I've seen plenty of people at craps tables put out 15 grand and lose it in 30 minutes. Okay. In the Jets case, it won't take quite 30 minutes. It'll take a little bit longer, but you're going to
about 6 games. About 6 games in, you'll be done.
About 6 games. About 6 games, you're like, okay, well, that might.
You got it. Yeah.
All right. I mean, another story surfaced here, and we talked with another one of your former contemporaries about this, and he seemed to believe that this had some serious weight to it, and maybe was likely to happen if all of the circumstances had played out. In fact, he saw the Brian Flores lawsuit as the thing that broke the chain of events that might have brought this about, with Sean Payton coming to the Dolphins and Tom Brady coming along with him. Now, when we first heard about this kind of stuff, you thought, all right, yeah, it makes sense to go after Payton, but probably not going to happen. And the Brady thing seemed a little far-fetched until Flores' allegations that they had this clandestine, a deep throat meeting taking place on a boat with Stephen Ross and Brady, and I guess some of the Dolphin brass. A couple of things come to mind. Now, I don't know, how much credibility you would give to the idea that the Dolphins were seriously or even close to making it happen in terms of pursuing that. But and the people we've talked to, you can't help but think if that was their plan, they did a hell of a job of making an about face, did they not? Because they actually look like a team that had some idea what they were doing in the offseason, or at least it seems that way.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, this certainly makes them sound like they had a big idea. Look, for $20 million a year, Sean Payton's gonna perk up and take notice. And if you tell him that he gets to work with Tom Brady, even more so, right? Because I don't think after having had Drew Brees for 14 years, I don't think that he wants to step back and go into the search for a next quarterback. he wants a ready-made deal, and having Tom Brady is a ready-made deal, right? So
Yes.
that part of it, I certainly believe. I certainly believe that Tom Brady moved to Miami for a purpose, right? He's down on, what is it, Indian Creek Island?
Yep.
You know,
I think he bought Shula's old
for a
house
reason.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's got the ghost of Shula. Is that sort of like the ghost in Mrs. Mirror? Is that that's sort of like that? Anyways, yeah. So the ghost of Shula had reappeared and said, "Do this, Tom." And Tom was ready to do it. Plus, they were going to throw millions at him. You know, here's a couple of problems with it. And I look, there's one assistant coach that you and I both know very well, who was also part of Peyton's plan that he put together to do this all in Miami. So I think it was very real. Okay. And I certainly believe Dave Hyde's reporting and some of the other reporting that's been done on this story. I think it had legs. It fell apart awfully quickly, you know, and I'm always sitting here going, the Brian Flores lawsuit is what took this apart. If that's what it was, this was a plan put together on, you know, in dominoes that fell apart really quickly, right? So
Yeah.
It wasn't all that solid. Let us say it was a lot of, well, if we do this, will you do this, and will you do this, and if I pay you $20 million a year, will you do this? Oh, sure. You know, for $20 million, I'll do a lot of things.
Sure.
So I think it was an idea that had a lot of legs, but was held together with baling wire and string, so that when something serious happened, it came apart really quickly. That's how I would term this. The other thing is, look, if the Dolphins were going to pay, you know, Sean Payton $20 million a year, what were the New Orleans Saints going to ask for him in trade?
Yeah.
You have to ask questions like that. They're going to hold you up. Likewise, Tampa was going to hold you up. So how many years worth of first round draft picks do you think you're going to lose in that whole process?
And maybe for 1 year's service. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes you do things just, you know, because you're close in so many other places, and, you know, you say, okay, let's go get this magic, you know, player, and he'll put us over the top, and we'll do it for 1 year, and it's worth it, right? Yeah, that's okay. You know, that's not a bad thing. Winning a championship is a good thing. The people in Tampa are certainly going to be happy for a long time having won that Super Bowl, right? Even if the effect is not long term, it's okay. But yeah, I don't think this was built. This was not a building built on concrete, a concrete foundation. That was just not going on.
Man, only Carol Rosenblum. I don't know what it would have taken in terms of compensation, but yeah, you're right. It could have been crippling. And then you're thinking, I mean, I don't know how many more
living along the South Florida shore. Although that's a little bit more gruesome.
Yeah, that's you know, a little.
And what Georgia might have had to do with it. Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I didn't say that.
Where's Natalie Wood? You know, I mean, she might wash up. You know, there too. All right, Jason Cohen with us here on the Defo Show. You know, the other story that surfaced, I guess, and it comes as no surprise, but and I'm not sure, you know, how much weight this one has, but you know, I'm reading these things, and you know, you become a judge of what level of credibility it might have. It didn't seem like outrageous, you know, speculation about Deshaun Watson that he will be suspended for a significant period of time, and the speculation was like if he got off lightly here, it would be half a year and probably a full season. What are you hearing on that front? I mean, do you anticipate that is going to happen? That Deshaun Watson will not play NFL football this year?
Yeah, I doubt it. I mean, it's built into his contract that way. I mean, he intentionally built a guaranteed contract that only has a $1 million base salary this year. He's got $200 million in salary that's guaranteed, right? Only $1 million of it is supposed to come this year. They knew going in that there's a real possibility that he wasn't going to play. They're preparing for that, right? Like Watson's people are prepared for that. And, they know something significant is going to happen. And they just know that, look, you can't have this guy around while all of this news is swirling. And every 2 weeks, you don't know what's coming out next. Yep. And who might sue him again. So, this is a bad look for the NFL. Because at the end of the day, there's no dad who wants to take his child to a game and have to explain in the middle of the game what a happy ending is.
Oh,
that's just not really.
That's actually very true. Yes,
it's not really the conversation, right? That's just not. You do that when they're 14, 15,
teenagers,
16.
Whatever,
That's not 8-year-old Johnny. Yeah. Why is Deshaun Watson? I read something about happening. No, we're not. We're not having that conversation.
Listen, just have a cotton candy and shut up.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and especially if you happen to bring your wife along with you.
Yeah, that's a fun.
She's glaring at you. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's just not. It's not what you want to do. Right, and that's the thing that. And there's always a thing that I tell athletes, okay, you're not supposed to, you're not necessarily supposed to be some beacon of sunshine that we all have to look up to. You can just go be a regular person.
Yeah.
But understand there are going to be conversations depending on what stupid thing you do.
Yeah.
And Deshaun Watson has done an incredibly stupid thing by involving so many people in his life.
Yep.
Pretty bizarre, modus operandi that he had working there when he was booking 65 different massage therapists over a short period of time.
It's sociopath. It's sociopathic.
Yeah,
now he didn't hurt it.
Crazy. Yeah.
He didn't permanently hurt anybody. Okay, that's I'm sure there are women out there who might argue differently, but nobody's dead, right? And I get that. So this is not a capital offense.
Right.
But
he wasn't really battering women in that sense. Yeah.
From what we know, yeah.
No, he's not right. He's not leaving somebody permanently disfigured and all that kind of stuff. It's tawdry and stupid and disgusting. But one of the things in this is you just kind of look at a pattern of behavior. If you're an employer and you go, who am I bringing into my building?
Yep.
Does this person have self-control? Do they have common sense? Are they doing things to sacrifice for themselves to put the team and the organization first? And in this case, this person is not.
No.
And it's all come out. Now, he certainly played good football while this was going on. So he's worthy of taking a chance on. But you have to look at him and say, are you focused on your job? At the end of the day, are you really focused on what it takes to be great? Or are you focused on the kind of control that you can, put over other human beings? That's the question with this one.
I keep picturing Tiger sitting in a chair in a business suit with, the same sort of bizarre sexual approach that, you would say certainly would come under the heading of, I don't know about alternative lifestyle, but, a little bit of a deviation from the norm.
It's deviant. But the one thing I'll give with Tiger is, the only person he hurt was himself.
Yeah.
Right?
It was all consensual from way
the only person. Yeah, the only person he was ever responsible was to himself.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson's a whole different thing. And again, all sorts of people have all sorts of desires and things like that. But when you involve so many people in your life, you're not only is it semi-deviant behavior, but it's dangerous because you can't control these people talking about you when you let them into your life. And that's that's one thing athletes just, a lot of athletes just never learn. It's why do athletes make horrendously bad drug dealers? Because at the first drop of the hat,
the dumbest.
Right. At the first drop of the hat, somebody's going to give them up.
Yep.
Because okay, I just got arrested. Who am I going to give up so that I get a lesser sentence? Oh, that dude.
Yep.
Nate Newton. Yeah, you're the first to go. Okay, and everybody like that. So it's like it's just a bad idea.
Jason, always a pleasure. Best of luck with the film. We'll look forward to the
sir.
big announcement. That's very, very exciting for us
I'll let
here
you
on the
guys
show.
know. I'll email you guys.
Keep us posted, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let us know and come
Will
back
do.
on because we'd love to immediately get some kind of reaction and stir the pot a little bit about what you have going. So that'll be great. All right, Jason, always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks so much, man.
Get some rest.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you again to Jason Culver joining us today on the Defo Show with Lubie here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. He did believe the reports that we've talked about ad nauseum with a lot of different people, that it was a lot closer than people thought. However, what he said that was interesting about Sean Payton and Tom Brady coming to the Dolphins, if the Brian Flores rumors could totally ruin it, then how close were they? They may have been close, they may have wanted it to happen, they may have thought it was going to happen, but if it was a legit thing, they could have found a way to make it happen. And yeah, the reports were real. Dave Hyde wasn't wrong, but it wasn't a done deal. Because if it was a done deal, there's, at least Jason Cole's estimation, he's been covering the NFL for over 3 decades, the Brian Flores reports to Brian Flores' debacle shouldn't have just ended it. It might have, in the long run, ended Tom Brady and Sean Payton coming to the Dolphins, but it feels like, and it felt like it ended it very quickly. Jason Cole feels like if that was the case, then they definitely was real. There definitely were talks. There definitely was an idea. There definitely was a foundation, but it may not have been something that was imminent to happen. Jason Cole also talks about the Deshaun Watson issue and the fact that, and we didn't even realize this, in this $200 million contract he has that's guaranteed with the Browns, the first year is only $1 million. So it lets you know that his people and the Browns sort of had an idea that this was probably coming. What does it mean for the Browns? What does it mean for Deshaun Watson long term? No idea. It's not good for the Browns. It's not good for Deshaun. And it is something that we've talked a lot about. Those that wanted Deshaun Watson down here with the Dolphins, there's a reason they didn't go after him hard. There's a reason that it sounded interesting, it felt interesting, but it really wasn't going to happen because you knew he wasn't going to play. So you're going to pay him a lot of money or pay him whatever and still not have a quarterback. So give Tua a chance, see what Tua is, because at least that's better than not having Deshaun Watson. So that's what the Browns are dealing with. The Dolphins are not dealing with that. If you want to deal with us more, check us out in the mornings. Google The Defo Show with Lubie. Go to YouTube. Look up The Defo Show with Lubie. Go to YouTube, South Florida Live. Go to Facebook, South Florida Live. Facebook, The Defo Show with Lubie. You can find us all the way there or on Twitter and Instagram at SoFlyLive_. You can check us out on our exclusive content podcast. Today we talked with Mini Man. We talked more South Florida, Valley Sports Florida, Panthers, and Marlins. Craig Minervini joined us today on BLEAV.com. Search After Hours. And, of course, each and every day, our South Florida content right here. The Defo Show with the Lubie on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in the Plantation, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers, Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Hey folks, Tony Segreto here. You know, since day one, Catholic Health Services has been part of Old School. And since we've started letting people know about them, it's changed their lives. You see, Catholic Health Services, while being recognized as one of the top places for stroke rehab in the country, it's also about a group of people who not just excel in what they do, from the doctors to the nurses to the therapist, on and on and on. It's how they do what they do every single day that separates them from the pack. They do it with a passion, unmatched, and the inclusion of family in every step of the process. Trust me when I tell you this. If you want the best, unmatched rehab with a special group of skilled, caring people, there is truly only one place, and that one place is Catholic Health Services.